up, dude? What questions y'all have for me about drums? Slim Shady in the house. What's up, Slim Shady? What's up, Connor? I've been playing for 22 years. How about you, man? How long you been playing for? Nice, man. You got any questions for me about Rudiments? Let's talk Rudiments, man. Let's talk Rudiments. Let's talk Rudiments. Nice, I like that question. Most useless rudiment. I like that, man. You know, the thing is, that's a really real question, isn't it? There is a lot of, you know, rudiments that are more so important than other ones, right? To answer that question, it's better to answer it with what I feel like are the most important rudiments, I suppose, right? Obviously singles, doubles, any type of paradiddle, very important rudiments, right? All the flam rudiments are important. Flam tap, flam accent, flam paradiddle, you know, Swiss. All the rolls are important. The drags are cool. Probably the ones that no one ever plays, you know? Like flammed mill. It's a cool rudiment, but no one ever plays it, you know? But that's a cool rudiment though. Flam paradiddle diddle is kind of redundant. Pataflafa is always the very quirky rudiment out of the bunch. The drag rudiments are fun though. Who doesn't like a flam drag, right? Any questions about drums you guys got for me? Pad specifically, technique. Pad technique. Pad technique. I've always tried to get better at groups of threes, man. Threes are weak, dude. That's weak sauce. Okay, actually, can you break it down how you hold the sticks for these rolls? So when you roll, it has nothing to do with holding the sticks necessarily, right? Holding the sticks has to do with your different grips. So match grip is where your wrists are up, like this. Fringe grip is where your thumbs are up. And then traditional grip is supposed to be more like this. Although I learned it wrong, down like this. And all the DCI guys always say, no carrying water, no carrying water. It's annoying, leave me alone. That's how I learned how to do it. That's how I learned traditional grip is more low like this. Although you're technically supposed to do it higher up. Yeah. You have some students that struggle with traditional in their left. Their elbow comes in and hugs their side. Yeah. Well, I think those are two different issues, right? Like you can have the elbow do that with any kind of grip, but I guess it does sort of more prone to do that with traditional. Huh. Interesting, man. You know, anytime I have a student with any kind of weird arm thing, I always tell them that drumming at the end of the day is really just supposed to be a very relaxed grip type thing. Like if you were to just put your hand up kind of dead and put a stick in your hand, you're pretty much most of the way there. Right? So what that does is it cuts out any unnatural motions like this. This is unnatural. Therefore, that makes that wrong, right? This is unnatural. This can't be right since it's unnatural. You name it. Any unnatural motion you could think about. That's what helps cut out all that kind of stuff. Does that make sense? You've watched a lot of videos on what you're doing and tried practicing it, and it's so hard to do. What exactly? Are you talking about rolls? Hey, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. What are you talking about specifically you've watched that you're having trouble with? What kind of techniques? Talking about flams? See, everything in drumming has its own sort of structure, right? Flams has its own thing you practice. Rolls has its own thing that you practice. See, the thing that people don't understand enough about the rudiment chart is it's divided into groups. And I didn't realize that until I taught and realized it. Is the first group, let's talk about the groups that are in the rudiment chart, okay? What's up, Joe? Yeah, man. I figured I like to change it up if you guys couldn't tell. That's one thing that makes, I think, that's one thing that I feel like I'm interesting as far as teaching goes, because when a student comes in, they don't ever know what they're going to get out of me. I don't really like routines and plans that much. I like feeling it and taking what we got at the moment and working with that. That's how I've always been. It's how I roll. It's where I thrive. But anyways, going back to the rudiment chart. This is actually a really important conversation. The rudiment chart is divided into sort of different stylistic ideas that all can be practiced. That's why when you say study rudiments or practice rudimental technique, that's actually broken down into lots of different things. Okay? Dude, we can do pad, man. You know, it doesn't matter to me. At the end of the day, since it's, you know, your lesson, your money, your time, you tell me, man, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. By the way, guys, Joe, he's my friend anyways, but now he's, you know, taking lessons from me, so if any of you guys are interested, just hit me up, man. I got plenty of availability still in my schedule. Just ask Joe, he'll tell you. He'll tell you what's up. But anyways, going back to the rudiment chart, you got your single rudiments, all right? So singles in general, and then you have groups of singles, like single fours, which are typically thought of as triplets. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that, man. So this is single stroke 4, but it's made up of singles, right? Single stroke 7. Think, when you think single stroke 7, think about Metallica. People like to make fun of Lars, but the thing is, Lars actually used quite a bit of rudiments in his playing, in his parts. There's like paradiddles in there every now and then. It's cool. I noticed that listening to him growing up. There's literally one groove where he plays, it's a 7-stroke roll, and it's a really weird groove, but yo, Hayes, I appreciate you, man, but I'm not going to do that every single time you come in my live, alright? I mean, I'm a drummer, for crying out loud. I appreciate the share, though, you know. It's just a little awkward, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of comes out of nowhere and breaks the vibe a little bit, alright? Right? You were told to use the pinky? So, okay, let's just get straight to roll rudiments then, right? No, I don't know cheesy proofs. I don't know. I know what a cheese is. And I know different variations of a cheese. Like the Flam 5. I mean, Hayes, it just feels like you're being sort of, if I'm being real with you, man, which I'm real with everybody, I've appreciated you coming in my lives and stuff and hanging out, but, like, you know, I don't know, man. There's like a certain audience, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you post anything online, you're looking for a certain audience. And my audience is not here for me to sit here and talk about, you know, 1, 2, buckle my shoe, bro, okay? My audience is here to talk about drums. You are a drummer? Alright, cool. Let's talk about drums, silly. Alright? It's like if you came in my studio, that's actually what it's equivalent to. You're kind of in my studio at this moment, right? Think of it that way. If you came into my studio, my physical space, and you looked at me and the first thing you said was, say, buckle my shoe or whatever, I'd look at you like, are you insane? Are you okay? You know what I mean? You just joy and you're trying to pay attention. Yeah. This drummer is insane. What's up, Nathan? How you doing, man? Alright, going back to what I was saying about rolls, okay? Did you come off? Oh, yeah. I don't want to be mean. But yeah, you know, that kind of vibe, you know? I ain't trying to call you out or nothing, man, but I mean, it's something we haven't talked about, and we kind of need to talk about it, right? I don't know. I mean, I've played along, but whatever, alright? Tell me more about your drumming. That's what I want to know more about. Oh, I love flam rudiments, man. Yeah, I love flam rudiments. But see, flam rudiments, that's a great point. Flam is a certain category inside of the rudiment chart. He starts out with alternating flams, which drum set players hate. See, drum set players hate everything about flams because true flam rudimental technique has nothing to do with drum set. What do I mean by that? Well, drum set players, including me when I play drum set, we do this. The Dave Grohl flam, right? That's good, but that has nothing to do with flams. The whole point of a flam is it's supposed to teach you about stick height control, okay? And that's not the whole point of a flam, but I mean, that's what everyone does when they play flams on drum set. It's not a bad thing. It's actually stylistically accurate. You're supposed to play flams more like that when you're playing drum set because of the musical context. At that moment, it makes sense, right? But here's the point. One of the whole reasons why rudimental technique is so important to practice is because it teaches you control and technique and things and ways of thinking about your hands that drum set just simply won't teach you, okay? It goes further. It digs deeper into technique. Like, I can have two different stick heights, right? Just like I can have two different velocities, right? What we call a primary stroke and a grace stroke. They're not the same thing. And so rudiments, at the end of the day, help you with technique because they help you with articulation. How do you make a note sound a certain way? See, not all notes are the same. And if they are, you can play that way. It's called playing evenly, right? Well, the thing is, Joe, it's not that it's necessarily one way over the other, right? It's just a style thing, right? So, like, this is what I like to refer to as drum set flams. Nothing wrong with it. It's good. It works. And drum and pop and rock and country, it's what we do, right? But that's not a traditional flam, right? So this is a flam you'll actually play when you're really focusing in on rudimental technique. And here's why that's important, okay? Because everything flam rudiment-wise is based on the fact that we have this structure right here, where I have a lower note for my tap, for my grace note, and I have a higher for my primary. Now here's the point, okay? You can alternate that. And see, everything about rudiments also has to do with alternation. Being able to play anything with my right that I can also play with my left, which builds both. That's why everything on the rudiment chart is said to be important, because almost every single rudiment except for paradiddle and a couple others alternate. And the reason why that is because even in a paradiddle, your hands are still getting the same practice. It's still two singles and two doubles. So even though it doesn't alternate, your hands are still getting the same amount of technique and practice. Now, with that being said, that's a paradiddle. But going back to flams, we got right flam, left flam. Right flam, left flam. Now here's what I tell students. There's two things that make a flam work. Style and stick height, okay? Style and stick height. So you gotta prepare the flam, which means stick height, then play the flam. If you want a really nice traditional flam, okay? A rudimental flam, if you will, okay? Because see, rudimental technique is not the same thing as drum set technique. That's the first thing we have to accept as drummers. Rudimental technique is not the same thing as drum set technique. It can be. I can play traditional rudimental style on drum set, or I can play like most drum set players. You feel me? And sometimes I need to play more traditional rudimental, and sometimes I need to just get the job done and just play, you know. Not that that's not rudiments, that's singles, right? But the point is, not every note is always going to be the same on both hands. Sometimes you're going to want accents, right? See, the reason why drum set players are horrible at accents is because a lot of times they don't focus on any articulation or technique with their hands, all right? Like stick heights, all right? Stick heights and accents, man. Now, I'm not trying to get off topic here, okay? The point is, flams are the first introduction to stick heights matter, you know? Chapter 1, stick heights matter? What? You know? Nothing else in drum set really teaches you that stick heights matters, except for when you start studying about flams in a truly rudimental way, okay? Okay, so here's the point. Right flam, prepare the flam, left flam. Prepare the flam, right flam. Prepare left flam. Prepare right flam. Now here's the point. You have to have that fundamental alternating flams technique before you can ever play any other flam rudiments, because every other flam rudiment, almost every other flam rudiment, yeah, I could pretty much say every single one of them has at least a right flam and a left flam. That's the whole point, okay? So right flam, right, left flam, left, that's flam taps. But here's the weird thing about that, okay? I've actually got 3 different articulations when I play that. A primary note, a grace note, which are 2 different sounds and articulations and stick heights, and then a regular note, all right? Just a regular, just your regular articulated note. So a primary note needs to have a little bit more oomph on it. That's why traditionally when you play a flam, it's always more accented and it always has more of a presence to it, okay? So right flam, right. Left flam, left. Right flam, right. Left flam, left. Learning to do this is what increases your technique because you're literally assigning every single thing you play with an articulation. And articulation is how you communicate efficiently, all right? So that's how I can start to speed up over time with flam taps. That's flam taps. But flam taps eventually become flams with doubles. That's what they become eventually. So eventually you just kind of balance them. Eventually. So that's flam taps. Then you have flam accents. Right flam, left, right. Left flam, right, left. Right flam, left, right. Left flam, right, left. Except for it's triplets, right? So triplet, 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 triplet. Well, in order to get a great sound from a flam, it only comes from stick height. A traditional rudimental guy might say that's true. And that is partly true. But the weird thing about getting a good sound of a flam has to do with a lot of things. Like right now, I don't even like necessarily how my flams are sounding. I really need to concentrate more. See, music is about being intentional, right? So if I'm really intentional with my sound, the more intentional with my sound I am, the better the sound is going to be, right? But that's a deep statement. That means I can't just hope the sticks are going to do it. I'm going to listen and get feedback from that, and then try to get a better sound every single time. See, a flam has a traditional sound. It's not supposed to be this, and it's not supposed to be this. It's supposed to be more like this. But it's supposed to also have style to it. You don't want to play flams like this. Well, that was pretty good, but like where they're too close together, okay? So when you start to get into the real details of it, you're really looking for a specific type of sound and presence and stick height and articulation and all of these things. Ultimately, it's like anything else in music. You want to memorize what you're looking for it to sound like the goal. See, once you know what something is supposed to sound like, then and only then can you practice. Practice doesn't exist without a goal. Okay? You have to know what something is supposed to sound like and then work towards that sound. And that means crafting everything you're doing, from your stick height to your tap or your grace being a certain sound and a certain technique, and your primary having a certain sound and a certain technique, as well as how they both work together as far as the spacing between them. And you're looking for something that has a nice presence to it, that's got some balls, Because if you don't give it some balls, then it's not a flam. What's the whole purpose of a flam, guys? The whole purpose of a flam is to give presence to a note. Even if a flam is not articulated, accent. And I used to get in arguments with guys about this. They would say, why are you accenting your flams? Because a flam is really always supposed to be accented. Why would it not be? Even if I'm playing like a flam with a bunch of other notes, right? If I don't give that flam some sort of presence, then why is it even a flam to begin with? See, that's boring. Technically, I'm playing flams, but it sounds horrible. So don't give your flams the same presence as your normal notes. Your flams need to stand out. It's just that accented flams stand out even more than that. More like this. By the way, that rudiment I'm playing there is called a flam accent, and it's a very, very important rudiment. Right flam, left, right, left flam, right, left. Right flam, left, right, left flam, right, left. It's triplets. Me and Joe just got done talking about triplets the other day. Triplets are super important to practice. Like, let me give you an example, okay? Your good old buddy, the DB90, right? DB90, we got the DB90 rolling. We're gonna do some triplets. That's too easy. Now we do a rudiment that has triplets, like flam accent. Now, why did I stop talking? Because when you practice with a metronome, it's all about concentration. You got to internalize what you're doing. Now, what pad people will do, people who study rudimental technique and technique in general, is they'll start flipping that to different things. Like they'll either put a diddle on that, right? Or they'll do they'll switch the flam up, like they'll put it on different partials of the triplet, right? So after you learn how to play along with triplets, then you do other stuff from it. Like, then you do the same thing with like diddles. So, you can do flam fives. Stuff like that, man. I get to right, tap, tap, left, from two right. My man, I don't know what that says. I love you, but I don't know what that says. Here's the deal. If you're gonna write stuff down, you gotta write it, okay? Right flam means this. Left flam means this. Let's talk about descriptive terms, okay? Right flam means your right hand is the primary note, okay? So if you say right flam, then that's what that means. Left flam is where your left hand is the primary note. So that's why stick height is so important in flam, because it literally distinguishes which flam you're playing, all right? Like, flams are literally built off of the concept of stick height and sound quality. That's what they're built off of. You could say they're built off of a primary and a grace, and they are. But they're also built off of, what I just said. So the main thing is understanding what each rudiment's real job is, and then practicing that with a metronome. Like, here's 16th notes. I need to know what rudiments work with 16th notes, right? So paradiddle, triple paradiddle, I messed up. No, that's too slow. Let's go faster. I like that. That feels good. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's see how fast we can do that. let's get rid of the accent. That's good. Let me do some singles and some doubles. Parallel. It's a good warm up. Man, when you start introducing flams though, oh my gosh. Let's see where my flame taps are at today. Definitely not there. I can't do flame taps that fast. Keep going. Appreciate it, man. That is 16th notes. See, that's why our conversation, Joe, is so important. At the end of the day, the main thing me and you need to talk about at the end of the day, no matter if it's set or pad, is what subdivisions are and how to recognize them as soon as possible, because that's the language we speak as drummers. Crazy enough, right? Subdivisions is always the language we speak. It's kind of like a painter just throwing colors up on a canvas versus understanding what colors work well together and different shades and tints and mixing and all this junk, right? You can either just throw paint at the wall, which is just playing random stuff, or you can truly understand how all these colors work together. And in music, for rhythm's purpose, in pitch it's different. Obviously for pitch it's about more stuff like key and intervals and chords and all that good stuff. But for rhythm, it's subdivision. Like, let me give you an example, okay? Everything starts with a quarter note. But then we move on to other subdivisions, eighth notes. 1 thing, 2 thing, 3 thing, 4 thing. Now the weird thing is, that doesn't mean I only play eighth notes when I'm hearing eighth notes. You can play any subdivision to any subdivision. Like right now, I'm playing 16th notes over 8th notes. Now I'm playing 6s over 8th notes, which work really well together. But I learned most of my core stuff in college, actually. Triplets, dividing into 3. See, it's not just about understanding your subdivisions. It's about really internalizing each subdivision and knowing how you can do different things with them, right? If I hear triplets, then my mind instantly goes to a certain vocabulary that works with triplets. which is a different vocabulary than what works with 16th notes. Let's go much faster than that. I want to play some more of that kind of stuff. John, I can help you, buddy. Doesn't matter the age. I've taught people that are in their 80s before. 70s and 80s. Those are fun students, actually. Because they'll just tell you how they think it is, man. They're always like that. I had this one lady who I taught for a while. Every single time, I always asked people, how are you doing, you know, when they came in. And she was like, I ain't dead yet, so I guess I'm doing pretty good. She was hilarious, man. But no, dude, 50 is nothing, man. Hit me up, let's get you in the schedule. Let's talk about it. I miss triplet diddle exercises though, man. Triplet diddle stuff is so much fun. Thanks for the follow. We're super close to 17,000, man. Oh, I can't do flying fives that fast. I can't do it that fast. This was fun. But yeah, mainly at least learning about 8/16 and triplets, man. And at the end of the day, that's really a start, you know? Quarters, although that's fast. You don't want to think about quarters that fast at first. Quarters. And you just practice simple subdivision stuff first, right? So quarters, eighth notes, triplet, 16th, eighth note, or triplet, eighth note, quarter. And you do the same thing with flams. Quarters, eighth notes, triplet, 16th, flam paradiddles are always fun. I almost forgot about what is it? Yeah, paradiddle tabs. Those are fun, dude. Or, I wonder how fast I can do putter to this. It's easy. It's hard. I can't triple that roll that fast. Yeah, I can't do it that fast. I can't go that fast. So, anyone got any other questions about drums? About pad and rudiments? We should play Guess This Rudiment. What's that rudiment? Who knows that rudiment? What's up, Brian? What you got going on, man? What questions you got for me about drums today? To be honest, Brian, I'm not even a DCI guy. I'm a drum set guy. I usually play drum set on here and answer drum set questions, but I just felt like changing it up today. Probably about to get it back on drum set though. But I delved into that world, as you can tell. I was just never big on it, you know, like actually following the chords and all that. I think it's cool, but I just never got into it. Gotta love the Swiss triplet, man. It's fun rudiment. Yeah, I think overall, you know, we just place too much emphasis on speed. We should place more emphasis on sound quality, including me. I'm trying to remember that one lick all the drum set guys would do all the time. It was like, what was it? Some weird thing like that. No, I was never good enough for all that, man. But I did march on my college snare line for a couple of years, yeah. I was good enough for that. Let's see, our line was like UTC. I think I'm about to get on kit. That was some good pad though. That was some fun pad stuff. Good warm up. Really good warm up, actually.
All right, can you hear me? Cool. Definitely rolling, dude, all day. What questions y'all got for me about drums, man? Let's do it. You do it like this, big boy. Practice with a metronome. Paralyzer does a lot of this kind of thing. Bass hat, snare hat, bass hat, snare hat. Which the thing about this style that's important that drummers don't really realize is they can go way deeper than just hat, snare, hat, bass, hat, snare, hat. Like this can become its own style of groove that you do all kinds of stuff with. You just gotta learn to like keep it moving while you do other stuff, right? Thanks for the follow, bro. Hey, Brandon in the house. Appreciate it, Clint. More than likely, my iPad's probably dead. Nope. Still got some time. Play Michael Jackson on Spotify.
Now playing This Is Michael Jackson on Spotify.
Let's do it. Thanks for the follow. How's the mix? Around. How y'all doing today, man? Be careful what you do. Go around breaking young girls' hearts. Yo, Dream. Hey, if there was ever an OG, it's Dream. Dream was one of my first people that decided they thought I was cool and wanted to come back to my streams when I first started streaming years ago. What's up, Dylan? What you want to learn, brother? I'll help you. Are we talking about how to get, like, how to play drums or how to get girls or what? What are we talking about, Dylan? Just kidding around, dude. Hey, Dylan, I'll teach you, man. Either help me out with a question here or get in my schedule, bro. Let's do it. Just message me and we'll get you in the schedule, brother. What you been doing on the drums lately? I am using my left. I sure am. I am Ed Sheeran. Unless you're Ed Sheeran's lawyers. That's always fun. Hey, you know what? I watched Ed's latest music video. I instantly showed my wife because that was the thing. Like when she first met me, she came here for lessons, and she told her friend afterwards. Apparently, she was like, "You didn't tell me you looked like Ed Sheeran or whatever." But anyways, I watched his latest music video, and I sent it to her, and I was like, I swear I'm aging better than this guy. I swear. Hey, Lori, thanks for the heart. Appreciate you. Nah, I'm super random. It's basically like in between students. I know your man is a drummer. How's he doing? I see him every now and then. We can play Rosanna. Nice, Dream. Nice. Play Rosanna by Toto on Spotify. I mean, I don't mind it. I'll play it for people, you know what I mean? It's whatever. Left, right, left, left. Oh, paradiddle, but left hand lead. Nice. Lori knows her stuff. Since you've been around, Rosanna, yeah. I hear it all the time because that's one people request all the time. You always. Da, 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 da. How you been, Dream? Nice. Aren't you still with that drummer, dude? Since you've been around. Hey, thanks for the rose. Appreciate that. Just kidding around. Trying to get myself to sweat here. Tool, yeah. More independence. One of the best ways to get better at independence is don't think about it as independence. You know? What do I mean by that? Well, just kidding around. Like the whole drumming thing, each limb is more independent than... Forget about all that, brother, all right? Just hear it as music, right? So like the first couple of independence grooves that I teach students, it depends on where you are in independence. I mean, independence is such a huge subject, right? And there's different types of independence. But, you know, it starts out with bass independence, like... So you're just thinking about it as bass independence, like... So you're just thinking about it as you're trying not to get your cymbal to move, right? Your cymbal is trying to stay in the same spot. Any groove where you can do this, that's good bass independence. Then snare drum independence. The first one I teach students is this one right here. Together, apart, together. Bass, together, apart, together. Bass, together, apart, together. In other words, everything in independence has a musical meaning, right? Like if you're just thinking about it as independence, that's kind of missing the point, right? I mean, I can play really independent of each other. That's kind of my point. The more independently I try to play, the less musical it starts to sound, right? So there's sort of a line there, right? Like, don't think of it as actually independence. Oh, well, on toms and fills, we typically don't think about it as independence. Independence is mostly a groove-oriented term. In the fills arena, it's called linear. Anytime my hands and my feet are doing something separate, like flam bass, flam bass, flam bass, flam bass, flam bass. Yeah, it's a great question, man. Hand, foot. These are called linear exercises, and they're all very important to practice. Flam bass, hand, foot. Yeah, I mean, you know, left, right is really good. Doubles are really good for your hands, and that's good. But when someone's asking about fills, they're really talking about how does my hands and my feet work together, right? which can have to do with doubles. You can incorporate doubles for sure. Doubles are great to incorporate to anything, you know, like right left kick, right left kick, or right left kick. The point though is most modern drummers are always thinking linearly, like snare high 4/4 kick, snare high 4/4 kick, snare high 4/4 kick. There's just these certain licks we memorize. Jimmy, thanks for the follow, man. But I mean, every lick you're seeing me play is just because I've been playing every single one of these licks for a long time, you know? Whether it's hand, foot, or just a minute ago, I was playing hand, foot, or hand, foot. I mean, everyone uses those licks, man, to be honest with you. Everyone does that, you know? And this. But yeah, I'm also using a lot of doubles, like whatever. I apologize, I don't know your name. Whatever you said. In other words, it's all about linear, man. And linear can be approached in a very systematic manner. You know, anytime my hands and my feet are doing something separately, it's considered linear. So like hand, foot, hand, foot, hand, foot, hand, foot, hand, foot. Been practicing your doubles? Good. Yeah. I'm glad I was able to help. Yeah, doubles are an excellent thing to practice. Indeed. Someone's username is called Google is free. That is hilarious. That's pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. And guys, don't feel like you have to always make music all the time. I mean, just do stuff. Not everything I play is always super musical all the time. But you gotta experiment, man. You gotta just try stuff, you know? Like your girl on Valentine's Day, you know what I'm saying? Just try stuff. What's the challenge? Yeah, I've jammed on it before. Emergence by Sleep Token on Spotify. Yeah, for right now, I got a student at 3 though, so I can't play too much longer. Probably about 10 more minutes. Everyone struggles with this song. 90% of everything you see anyone playing this song, they're just guessing. You know, it's a very complicated song because dude keeps this pattern going, da 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 da, ka da 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 da, while he plays other stuff at the same time. So it's very hard. Something like that. Surround me. I don't even know, dude. Would have been cool if they would have kept that groove at the end. They could have made that work. But I like what they did at the end. But I still think that would have been cool if they would have done something like that. More jazzy. More progressive. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See you on the next one. Maybe invite your grandmas next time or something. Shit. 4 people. Good Lord. Good Lord.